she suddenly stops texting you, do not chase her. Do not send another message. And whatever you do not beg for her attention. Because the moment you start chasing silence, you lose your power. Listen carefully. Most men destroy attraction, not because a woman rejected them, but because they could not handle the silence. So if a woman stops texting you, what you do next will determine something very important. Whether she loses respect for you or becomes even more curious about you. Let me explain something most men never understand. Silence is a test. When a woman pulls back, your instinct is to panic. Your mind begins to race. Did I say something wrong? Is she talking to another guy? Should I text her again? And before you realize it, you send another message, then another, then another. But listen carefully. When a woman becomes silent, she is watching how you respond to uncertainty. Because uncertainty reveals who a man really is. Weak men panic, desperate men chase. But a man who understands his value remains calm. And that calmness is powerful. Because emotional stability is one of the most attractive traits a man can possess. A woman may not say it out loud, but she is always observing your emotional control. Now let me tell you the biggest mistake men make. When she stops texting, they start over-pursuing. They send messages like, "Are you okay? Did I do something wrong? Why are you ignoring me?" What they believe they are doing is fixing the situation. But what she actually sees is insecurity. And insecurity quietly destroys attraction. A woman wants to feel like she is dealing with a man, not someone whose entire emotional stability depends on her replies. When she senses that pressure, she pulls back even further. Not because she hates you, but because your energy suddenly became heavy. Attraction needs space to breathe. Desperation suffocates it. So what does a strong man do instead? When she stops texting, he stops texting too. Not out of anger, not out of ego, but out of self-respect. He goes back to his life, his work, his mission, his discipline, his growth. Because a man who has purpose does not sit around staring at his phone, waiting for a woman to reply. Let me be honest with you. If your entire day collapses because one woman stopped texting, then you were already too emotionally invested. A woman should be part of your life, not the center of it. Now, something interesting happens when you do not chase. Curiosity begins to grow. She notices the silence. She wonders why you did not double text. She wonders why you did not panic. Suddenly, the emotional pressure disappears. Mystery returns. Confidence becomes visible. And sometimes, she comes back. But understand something important. You are not staying silent to manipulate her. You are staying silent because you understand your worth. And that difference changes everything. But here is the deeper truth most men avoid. Sometimes a woman stops texting simply because she lost interest. And many men refuse to accept this. They chase harder. They send longer messages. They try to explain themselves. But listen carefully to this. Attention that must be forced is not attraction. Real interest flows naturally. When a woman truly likes you, communication does not feel like a negotiation. It feels effortless. So if she disappears, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away with dignity. The right woman does not require you to beg for basic attention. Now listen carefully to this wisdom. Even the Bible speaks about emotional discipline. Proverbs chapter 25, verse 28 says, "A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls." Think about that. When you cannot control your emotions, your reactions, your impulses, you become vulnerable. Anyone can disturb your peace. Anyone can manipulate your feelings. But a man with self-control is protected. His dignity is protected. His peace is protected. And women feel safe around a man who has mastered himself. So instead of worrying about why she stopped texting, ask yourself a better question. Are you becoming the kind of man that women naturally respect? A man with discipline, a man with direction, a man with standards, a man whose life is too full to chase people who are unsure about him. Because when you focus on becoming that man, something interesting happens. You stop chasing attention, and attention begins chasing you. Let me leave you with this final truth. The strongest position in dating is not the man who chases the hardest. It is the man who knows when to step back. Silence does not weaken a strong man. It reveals him. So if she stops texting you, do not panic. Do not chase. Do not beg. Simply continue becoming the man whose presence is valuable and whose absence is felt. Because the right woman will never make you feel like you are fighting for basic attention. If you want to truly understand the mind of women and become the kind of man women naturally respect, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Because the truth about attraction is something most men were never taught. But once you understand it, everything changes.